Amy Stark. Oh, wait, not Stark anymore. What was it? Yeah, Montgomery. Son of a bitch. Once she'd been Cade's girlfriend. All his, and he'd made sure everyone knew it. He could still remember the feel of her body against his, and the heat of her kisses, and the very public breakup when she caught him with another woman. Damn small-minded of her. What did a stray piece of ass matter anyway? Now she was married to someone else and wouldn't give him the time of day. He still smarted from the confrontation with her asshole husband. Who the hell did that interloper think he was anyway? He knew the other women with her too. Renee Stark was married to Amy's brother, and Jinx Malone, the publisher of the county newspaper, was engaged to marry Sheriff Dylan Cross. They were all laughing about something and acting as if they owned the damn place. Not too long ago, I could have owned the damn place. And the whole county. Come to think of it, we nearly did. He forgot for a moment that he needed to nurse the 2 stingy drinks Ed allowed him and downed a healthy slug. The liquor burned its way down his throat, but the warmth as it flooded through his system helped to take the edge off his bitterness. Glancing at the women again, he watched them take a table in the middle of the room and wave at Ed behind the bar. "The usual?" Amy called, tossing her dark hair. "Coming right up, sweet cheeks," Ed told her. "You sure you girls are old enough to drink?" That set them off in another fit of laughter. Didn't Ed just think he was so fucking funny? Cade ground his teeth and took another sip of his whiskey. Why the fuck did they have to come in here? There were other bars in town where they could hang out. This was his place, at least for a couple of hours a night. The only place that didn't throw him out as soon as he walked in the door. He huddled deeper into his corner, wondering how in the hell he was going to get out of here without being seen by them. He hoped they didn't look his way. Maybe he'd just toss down the rest of his allotted alcohol, find a way to inch out of here, and lock himself in upstairs with the last 6-pack he'd snuck out of the bar when Ed wasn't looking. There'd be hell to pay when Ed did his inventory again, but it wouldn't be the first time the 2 of them had gone around. And who else was the man going to get to sweep up the place for the pittance Cade received anyway? "Amy!" Renee leaned across the table. Amy looked at her friend. "What is it? And why are you whispering at me?" "Shh! Don't look, but I think that's Cade Hannigan in a heap in the corner." As Amy turned her head, Renee grabbed her arm. No. I said don't look." Too late. Amy had already glanced over her shoulder. At first, she didn't recognize the heap of clothing in the corner as a person. All she could make out was a sheepskin-lined ranch jacket and a disreputable Stetson. For a moment, it looked as if Ed had dropped stuff on the chair for some reason. Then she saw a hand move and a big knot formed in her stomach. Amy hadn't seen Cade since his big fall from grace, although she'd heard enough about it from her brother and Buck. And Jinx had covered the scandal in the newspaper in great detail. She wanted to feel sorry for him, but the way he'd humiliated her, and then his arrogant, almost threatening attitude afterwards, shut down any sympathy she might feel. "Ignore him," she told the others. "Maybe Ed will toss him out with the trash." "I understand Ed gave him the room over the bar to crash in," Jinx said, "and he pays him a few bucks to sweep up in the morning." "And here's Ed with our drinks, so let's talk about something pleasant." She winked at Ed as he poured beer into 3 glasses and set the pitcher on the table. "It did our egos good when you carded us before, Ed, but I'd say we're old enough to drink." She winked at him. "Depends on how much trouble we get into." "Trouble?" he chuckled. "Not in here. I have your husband's..." He pointed at Amy and Renee. "And your fiancée," he looked at Jinx, "on speed dial. Who's driving tonight?" Jinx raised her hand. "I am. Well, sort of. Buck dropped us off at the movie theater and we walked over here. Dylan's on pickup and delivery duty when we're finished." Ed shook his head. "I can't imagine why you want to spend your evening in this old place. Don't you have anything to drink at home?" "But then we wouldn't have you," Renee said. They all looked at each other and burst out laughing again. Ed just shook his head and walked away back to the bar, where some strays who'd wandered in were waiting for service. The women were still busy with their conversation and jokes when the outside door opened again, letting in cold air and a tall blonde. She headed directly to the bar where she gave Ed her order. Then, unbuttoning her jacket, she looked around as if trying to decide where to sit, before finally settling at the table next to where the women were sitting. "Do either of you know her?" Amy asked. "Jinx, you know just about it."